Welcome. It's your boy Jefe, bringing you another episode with my boy Jenks, the Jefe and Jenks show. That
Yes, man. We here again, episode two.
yeah, yo,
Episode two.
it's so surreal. Like it's like you walk through. You know, it's a weird part. It's like now you have conversation with other people. And I feel like I let everybody down because the editing for the first. I do apologize to everybody. I did drop the ball on the editing. Yeah, the rendering process. I dragged the wrong clip. I dragged like a 3 hour clip, so it should be fixed now for episode one.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
episode two,
Everything's good. Everything's good now. We starting out. Everything not gonna be
it,
perfect. We starting out,
yeah,
man. And-
it's a work in progress. But it's like it's fun. You know, it's one of the funnest process because it's like you know what every time I do it you learn something new, whether it be about just hosting, just setting up topics and writing scripts, or just like the whole editing process. um
yeah, definitely.
yeah, and you know what it is, you listen to other podcasts and you're like, damn, I want to add that, so you start doing some more research to them. But enough about that. But it's a lot of things going on in just in sports, NFL and NBA. And I know
That.
the one thing I did miss was, and I know you led into it off camera, but the Aaron Hernandez doc.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't even get a chance to see it. I probably watch. I'll try to watch it this weekend, but I know you wanted to talk about it a lot. So
Um.
I guess my first question is like, what was your initial reaction to the doc?
Well, I don't really want to get too deep into it until you send and we can have more dialogue. But I will say a documentary is extremely interesting. It gives you a lot of insight into like most documentaries do. It gives you provides you insight, but
Yeah,
I think insight you're getting in this is definitely like something. It was structured very well. You get insight through how he was upbringing, how he was brought up, him and his brothers, and his relationship with his pops, high school, college, the overall transition to the NFL. It's just some of the things he was getting into while being a professional athlete. So if you
yeah,
haven't watched it, if you're not one of those type of people that don't want to get caught up in the hoopla because it's trending, trust me, this will not disappoint. If you have Netflix, please watch it. It's 3 episodes. I
okay,
think about maybe an hour and a half every episode. It's very good, very good.
okay. I'll probably check it out this weekend. Would you say with the documentary? What was you? I guess my question for someone who didn't watch it is, what was your opinion before the doc, and then what was your opinion after the doc?
Well, um,
Like of
I,
Aaron
I was talking.
Hernandez.
I was talking to my girlfriend about this not too long ago. While the whole Aaron Hernandez thing was going down, while he was locked up and he was on trial and he was getting sentenced, I wasn't paying attention in real time. So there's a lot of things that I was ignorant to that that simply didn't know until I watched the documentary.
Hmm.
Of course, you know about Odin's murder, but there's just so many other things that I had not known because I wasn't paying attention to it. Um, but yeah, it's very it's some shocking stuff. A lot of things going to surprise you. Um, Now, what I would say one thing about the documentary that I don't like the representation for CTE in this documentary. I don't think that applies to Aaron. Yeah, even though when you watch it, they'll show that he had pretty advanced CTE for his age. It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
I don't think it segues too well into this, knowing that he was on this path already. Like I think for the people who watch it, you'll see what I'm talking about when I say that. Like for those that's trying to contribute CTE to what he was doing, that's not an argument that you can just sell. I don't think a lot of people are gonna buy that argument.
Yeah, because and yeah, because like I saw the I saw it, and because my whole thing on my whole thing on the whole Aaron Hernandez, like when I just saw the previews, it's like like I really felt I felt bad for like the family, like Odin's family, because like his actions did impact a lot of impact a lot, and let's say I'm not sure when he committed suicide, but I know like there's a whole grieving process on both parties. So that was my only thing where I think that was my only reservation where I was like, I ain't about to watch it just because like I could put myself, let's say if I was like a family member in that situation where you spend all this time trying to, at least, you know, cope with the losses. The Netflix documentary did like stir up some like troubled memories.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
but I will I will definitely tune into it. It's just I watch I'm gonna be honest, and we'll probably as we go down this podcast journey, I watch a lot of weird shows, and sometimes sometimes your Netflix queue and your Hulu queue just piles up. So
Right, right.
by by any chance, did you see what happened? Have you been keeping up with Antonio Brown?
um, it's hard not to in a sense. It's one of those things that's just in your face. Um, I seen everything post him being released or waived. It just hasn't been. It just does not look good for Antonio Brown. He's putting songs out. I have not heard the songs. I feel he's putting songs out, and and he of course it's I don't want to say it's common, but it's more normal for athletes of today's era to make music now. We've seen Dame do it, Lonzo. We've seen NFL players such as Le'Veon Bell do it as well.
I've
So
never.
it's not unusual. But
Well, hold up.
Antonio Brown, uh,
Hold up. So you haven't heard about Antonio Brown's latest shenanigans?
I've heard about it.
Oh,
I've heard about this thing with his children's mom, with his son's mom at the house and the
there.
whole thing. I heard about his trainer getting arrested at his house. Was it yesterday? And they're
Did you?
trying to link Antonio to that too for an assault charge. They're trying to link him to that as well.
Yeah, they already.
So
Yeah,
um,
yeah, they already got their arrest warrant out for Antonio Brown. Ah man, I feel it, I'm kind of speechless on Antonio Brown because I was a big fan. Um, I do. The only thing I could wish for is just like the NFL is to like wrap their arms around him because it is like there's only a select few people that make it that far into the NFL. So I just wish he had like good good mentorship or like probably some NFL mentors that probably won't give up on him. Cause that's my only thing with Antonio Brown. It's like I feel like everyone has given up on him just because sometimes Antonio Brown can be Antonio Brown though.
um, I personally think this happened. This was in the works.
Is
This has
it?
been in the works. It's been in the works since he was a Pittsburgh Steeler. With and as much as respected as Mike Tomlin is, and as much as a no nonsense guy he is, let's just be honest. Some guys that he's coached have been slapped on the wrist for things.
Yeah,
I went to his quarterback for his allegations or with his pretty cruel allegations that's been out against him. Antonio Brown from just pretty much with the whole locker room situation. They've been slapped on the wrist. So Antonio Brown has been enabled for quite some time. So
it,
and usually when people are enabled and that situation doesn't work out, and then he thought he had a situation in New England that was prime and perfect. He was just gonna get a ring. He could
yeah,
smell the ring. He could smell the opportunity. Once again, him being enabled, he
yeah.
doesn't even know how to maneuver in a new situation. He loses that gig in less than 2 weeks. Now he's just showing his ass. And honestly, I just feel like
You,
I think I think it's a wrap for him. I think it's a
so
wrap
you
for him. The
so
the NFL, not the NBA.
so 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 if you are a GM, you and to well, his ex agent. God damn, he did. They did part ways, but
Yes, agent did too. A very
Drew.
respected agent at that.
Now his let's say Antonio Brown gets the new agent. It gives you. Yeah, Jenks is the new GM in town for insert any team. You give Antonio Brown a phone call.
Nah, I can't do it, man. I can't do it. I can't do it. And I say that because the NFL is not a player driven league.
Yeah,
It's not a player driven league. The NFL, I don't. It shocks me when NFL players try to be supreme individuals or just pretty much try to brand their individuality on a 53-man roster. It's not going to work. The owners have the owners can't afford to have 53 different individuals to account for
yeah.
to spoken to be outgoing this that and the third. They can't account for it. So at this stage of Antonio Brown's career, I think he's a Hall of Famer, hands down.
Oh hell no, they not
I
put they.
I I mean, listen, I don't see why they wouldn't allow him to get into the Hall of Fame.
Bruh,
He technically hasn't done anything wrong. He
yo,
hasn't been convicted of anything. He
yo.
hasn't been, he hasn't been cheated the game. But
I'm
I
a,
will say this:
go ahead.
I think it's a wrap for him. I think if he ever gets his head on straight, bow out gracefully, just retire. Don't don't go out sad like a lot of these guys who just keep thinking they're gonna get a job.
Nah,
Antonio Brown, it is over. The league doesn't even have to blackball him. This is not one of those situations. This is a situation where, like, listen, he's bringing a lot. The pros and cons are just not gonna
yeah.
swing in his face.
And then you could, I mean, it's not. There's a lot of talent. There's lot of talent coming from the collegiate level. I mean, but have you ever?
That
One thing I do, I'm not sure if you ever watched it, but NFL films, they're doing the top 100 top players, and that's
yeah,
the reason why I say Antonio Brown is not a Hall of Famer, just because of I'm not sure the NFL knows what type of criteria they want when they look for a Hall of Famer, but I feel like they know what criteria they don't want, if that makes sense. So it's like prime example.
I definitely feel your argument on there. I
Yeah.
definitely feel your argument.
So it's like
They they've missed or they've made certain guys wait for being Antonio
bro,
Brown esque.
bro.
Definitely.
They literally just did a list. It is so crazy. They did a list for the top wide receivers and the top running backs. And the youngest running back that they had was Emmett Smith. And no disrespect to I'm not I don't even have the list in front of me, but they ain't had no Ladainian Thomason. I think they made like the last call, but they didn't make the final cut for the final top 100 list where they did like all the great running backs. And then for the wide receivers, they put like from the modern era, they put Marvin Harrison, Randy Moss, and Larry Fitzgerald. And no disrespect to Larry Fitzgerald, he's great, but they left out T.O. and they left out Megatron.
Hmm. Well, I'll say this. I'll say this. It doesn't surprise me that T.O. was not on the list.
I know.
Doesn't surprise me at all. But even though, I will say this. In the NFL's defense, in the NFL defense, like you said when we addressed Antonio Brown's Hall of Fame eligibility,
Yeah.
um, I just I just don't believe To is gonna hit anybody's mind first, especially if it's not like a player voting thing. I think the players will give it up, but when it comes to owners or just analysts, To is not going to come to their mind first. They're going to go to the role models, the Larry Fitzgerald, who's been with the one franchise, and never has been a locker room cancer, played with several different trash quarterbacks. Never complained. He's never
Never
complained. He
complain.
went out and he balled every time,
He
every
never.
season. You
Yo.
look at you look at Marvin Harrison. Even though I don't think Marvin Harrison should be on that list, I think he was a good receiver. He doesn't strike me as one of the NFL's best receivers of all time. He doesn't strike me as that.
Now, so
I will put a question mark with that one.
so the thing with
Marvin Harrison, I think definitely could have got a few other guys.
all right,
They could have picked a few other guys.
so the thing with Marvin Harrison, and Marvin Harrison is still, I mean, Marvin Harrison is great. Marvin Harrison, and this is just my opinion. He played in one of the greatest offense ever, and he played in one with one of the greatest quarterbacks. So he never had to go through. He never had to. Marvin Harrison, he had a great. He played with Edgerrin James, so he always had a great running game. And then he also had Reggie Wayne on the other side, so it's not like it was like Megatron where it's like, okay, we know we need to circle this one guy and stop that. And then on top of that, you had the high IQ of Peyton Manning. So I mean Marvin Harrison. I mean we don't. The thing with him is the whole chicken. Is the chicken versus the egg argument because we don't know if he was good or was he a product. Was it the system? Because he never left the system. So yeah. So that's.
Yeah,
But I mean, nonetheless, congratulations to all of them that made him though. By any chance, did you
yeah,
did you see the playoffs? The last two games.
yeah. Pretty. I expected the Chiefs to beat the Titans. I just didn't think the Titans had enough. It
Yeah.
would have been nice to see the underdog get to the Super Bowl after knocking off New England,
Right.
upsetting Baltimore, but just didn't think they had enough to beat the Chiefs this year. The Chiefs, for the first time, all you Chiefs fans, you can finally clap it up. You guys have finally cashed in. You guys are known for choking, no matter who the quarterback was.
Yep.
Choking leads the way. You
You,
guys were down 24-0 in the wild and against the Texans. You were down 10-0. You guys get to the bowl, and you guys have a pretty good chance to win the bowl.
you,
So
you,
congratulations, Chiefs fans.
man. So you wasn't feeling Trent Green and back in the day. Trent, or
Trent, I mean, well, Trent Green eventually became a Ram, so he definitely
you
he definitely was on the
you
good side eventually.
you wasn't feeling
But
Alex Smith.
I'm a big Alex Smith fan.
Uh,
I'm an avid Alex Smith fan. It's just Alex Smith is not the guy that's going to win you a championship, but Alex Smith is a damn good quarterback.
yeah.
I think he's a good quarterback.
The only
He's
thing the only thing is, and this is My only thing with the Titans is they robbed us of a really great matchup. Like,
But you,
I'm not
do
even.
do you think you?
Hmm?
I don't know. I don't know. I'll say this. I'll say this. I think a lot of people who hopped on the Ravens bandwagon just didn't do enough, or they forgot that second year quarterbacks don't make noise in the playoffs. They just don't make noise.
I, I,
And
I just think.
Lamar Jackson had over 500 yards, but a lot of those yards came well after the game was out of reach. Um,
You know what it is?
Second year quarterbacks don't make noise in the playoffs. Not in the NFL. They don't make noise in the playoffs. Like they
I,
just don't make that type of noise.
you know,
There's been a few exceptions with Russell Wilson and Big Ben getting it done early in their career. But other than that,
you
its history is there. The young quarterbacks just don't get it done.
you know what it is. This is like to me, uh, and granted, the only reason is because they're so young. I won't hold it against them, but this reminds me of, and they're not as great, but you remember back in like '08, '07. No, no, I mean not '08. I think it was '08 when they were doing all the Kobe and LeBron commercials, and they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna play each other in the finals." I feel like when like throughout this entire season, we already know the two main quarterbacks, like Patrick Mahomes. I mean, even though he got injured, I mean, Deshaun Watson was throwing up a storm, but everybody wanted to see Patrick Mahomes versus Lamar Jackson, and hopefully the game is like a 40. It's like a it's like a 42-49 game, like endless touchdowns, and I feel like that's what Tennessee robbed us of. That's my only thing. I was
I'll say this. I'll say this. I'm a big fan of upsets. I'm a big fan,
God, I hate.
especially in the NFL playoffs. I'm a big fan of upsets. So I wasn't disappointed with the Titans winning, but I will say this. Um, I think we got a pretty good Super Bowl with the Chiefs and the 49ers. This is a toss up.
I got the Chiefs.
This is a toss up.
I got the
I
Chiefs.
think I'm saying this. I don't want to make my predictions today because we'll do another episode before the Super Bowl. But I
Yeah,
will say this: the Chiefs cannot fall behind like they've done the past couple of weeks. If they fall behind, they won't catch up. The 49er defense, Nick Bosa, the secondary is good, and they have a running game to sustain the lead. The thing about it, Jimmy Garoppolo, like I said, I don't believe in him. I think I said that last episode. I don't believe in him. But he plays mistake-free football. He has a good running game, and he's got capable guys who can catch it, the little dink and dunk passes, who can take the roof off the defense. He can play mistake-free football if given a lead. If playing from behind, I don't trust him at all.
I mean,
If the Chiefs fall behind, anything 2 scores down, 14 points, they're not winning the game.
I will.
They won't be able to catch up.
I will say this. It is not. I disagree. I will say this. Kyle Shanahan is good for game managing quarterbacks. Like he's not gonna put like I feel like Jimmy Garoppolo. Kyle Shanahan won't put Jimmy Garoppolo in a situation where he has to throw 50 times. Most 30, I see 30, maybe 40, but I think he's gonna put him in situations. I will say this about Patrick Mahomes: nobody in the last 2 years have figured out how to stop Patrick Mahomes. And that's the only reason why I feel like they can. They've proven time and time again, and not time and time again. It's just like 2 weeks, but they can play from behind with the run. Like, yeah, I feel like no lead is safe. But the 49ers do have a good enough defense to kind of hold them. But I don't think
Mm.
anybody can cover Tyreek Hill on a broken play.
I think I'm a reference a game when we saw two young quarterbacks duke it out, and Patrick Mahomes was on the losing end when the Chiefs played the Rams on Monday night, and Jared and my guy Jared Goff outdoors him. The thing about Patrick Mahomes is that you can't stop him. He's gonna get his. But he with him being such a gamer, he's going to turn the ball over. Guys
He's very.
guys can get the strip sack. Guys can get the interception. He's such a gamer. He's gonna give you some of those if you're willing to take them, if you can get them. The 49ers have an opportunistic defense. They will get him to turn the ball over.
I don't know, man.
I can't say the Chiefs defense is gonna get Jimmy to turn the ball over. The Chiefs defense haven't looked spectacular. They were able to stop the Titans, who are pretty much one dimensional on offense. It's either Derrick Henry or nothing with them.
I don't, I, I don't know. I mean, he only threw 5 picks. Like he only threw 5 picks this year.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So
But they also quietly won 12 games. They everyone was talking about Lamar and Tom Brady's decline and what was going on in with the 49ers. The two the Chiefs quietly won 12 games. The Packers
uh,
quietly had got a first round bye too. Those are two teams that people didn't really talk about much this year. So I think that had a lot to do with that too. Lamar Jackson was balling out so much that it took a lot of the spotlight off of Patrick Mahomes.
I don't know. I can't see it. I'm pulling for Patrick Mahomes because as an Eagles fan, he's gonna get Andy's revenge. I feel like all I feel like Patrick Mahomes can figure out the defense, and versus the defense can't figure out him. I literally think what's going to happen is they're going to go up by 2 scores. They're going to the 40. This is my prediction. 49ers, they probably going to score a quick 10 points, and then Patrick Mahomes have to drop back and pass. They're going to abandon the run game, and then they're just going to get into a shootout. I'm
But
hoping
that's
this.
that.
Hmm?
I just don't think that's gonna bode well if they get into that.
Oh no!
I just don't think it's gonna bode well for the Chiefs if that is. Listen, Patrick Mahomes is still a young quarterback. He's still a young quarterback, and he's going up against a top tier defense. A top tier defense. I don't think just because he's accustomed to throwing the ball 40 times or whatever, this ain't the game to do that. This is the game to be as balanced as possible. Get the run game going, get the play action going to make him more versatile.
Yeah.
If you put the ball in his hands that early, you fall behind and you just allow Patrick win us the game. I don't think it's gonna go how
I'm
they think it's gonna go.
I'm going with the guy
If he's
that
gonna turn the ball over, so.
I'm going with the guy that threw 50 touchdowns. I'm gonna take my chances. The only thing is, I just hope he doesn't. Here's the thing, and the only problem is when the young phenom rising star goes to the championship and loses, they gonna drag him through the mud. So that's the only thing. It's like that young phenom uh curse where it's like they don't want the young phenoms to win. Like remember when Cam Newton came up like his first MVP year? It's like I told
Yeah,
you. So that's the only thing about Pat that's like. But I'm still picking the Chiefs. Moving
yeah.
on. Moving on. Uh, I'll let you. You know what? I'll let you. Pick. You want to talk about the All Star reserves or your boy Markel? Yo,
Well, I mean,
wait, can I say something first?
sure, sure.
Yo, like I lied you not. We literally stopped recording. I'm not sure when we record. I think it was that Wednesday.
I think I know where this is going.
Yo, I literally. So I'm recording. And I'm like, all right, man. The shit. The podcast is done. Like the episode is mailed in. Like I sent it in. I'm literally checking Instagram. It's like Markel Fultz is trending, and then like I'm like, oh man, I've been hearing about this so because he does, he does the patented Markel Fultz where it's like, yo, like he just did a bully ball on LeBron.
Oh
Like
yeah,
I was like,
that was trending. That was trending heavy.
yo, I was like, wow, I'm glad I really did. I'm glad we did the pot because I'm gonna be honest. The backstory. I was like, yo, man, I ain't got none of the editing and none of the audio thing ready. So I was trying to push it back to the next day, and then something told me like, man, just power through it, try to figure this out. And I was like, yo, Markel Fultz had a game of his life.
Yeah, triple double in LA
Yo,
against that man in LA, and
um,
then he got a few clutch buckets in there as well.
he got he got him a W, and then
Got him a W.
I mean, granted, he lost to the Clippers the next day, but still, it's like yo,
Yeah.
yo, I got y'all a W. So
Yeah. Hey, all I'm gonna say is this: you go to LA on a 2 game road trip, you split. If you can split that, hey man, you put your head up high.
question
You had to play Kawhi the next night. It's no shame losing to Kawhi.
question
No.
Is Markel starting or is he? What is he, the two guard or the point?
He's the point, and he started the season coming off the bench.
Okay,
But to my knowledge, he's their starting point guard.
okay. Not DJ Augustine.
Not anymore. I don't think they're doing him and Fultz in the starting rotation. I
Oh
think that he's off the bench, but they do find themselves on the court together at the same time during stretches of the game, but they aren't starting together.
yeah, I was so happy for you. I was like, this is what podcasting is about. Where you're like, yo, man, he, I was like, yo, I knew Jinx was like, yo, man, I can't wait to record. Like, I was about to.
Listen, man, this is all I'm gonna say. When it comes to Markel, folks, like, and to me, this is really nothing compared to what we saw at Washington. He still hasn't gotten into his bag of what he can do. This is just scratching the surface. Like his first year, he barely played. Last year, he didn't really play at all. This is really his rookie season. If it's not his rookie season, but it's his first year playing
There,
playing serious minutes, getting a serious role.
I, I feel like his
He's
thing.
just scratching the surface.
I feel like his thing is like he needs to play in a system like, well, I think he would benefit from like a system like, even though it's a bad. I mean, it's a bad system, but like Atlanta, where they're like, okay, you have a long leash. I feel like when he was in Philly, kind of like you know what it is. It's kind of like the Michael Porter Jr. where like these rookies they get drafted on these playoff teams, so they have short leashes. So it's like if you miss a defensive rotation, even though you're like probably the top five best player on the team, like you get yanked, and then emotionally like you're still probably either 19 or 21. So I'm excited for Markel Fultz. I wish the Wizards traded for him.
Hmm.
I wish they. I
I
wish
haven't heard that.
no. You know what it is. My thing is this. I don't write off anybody that's younger than 25. Like I want to
Yeah.
like my thing with a lot of NBA players, and we see it time and time again. I want to buy all like if I was a GM, I would buy all the stock on like all these 25-year-olds, and then hopefully put a couple of veterans, couple of old guys, just professionals, like just let it just to show them the ropes of just like how to be a professional and like how to help them through the day-to-day journey of being an NBA player. But
Yeah.
I'm not shocked that Lonzo is playing better. I'm not shocked at like I'm not shocked at like Michael Porter Jr. I wasn't shocked at like Embiid. I mean, you have like I was talking to one of my friends about this. You have more like it's rare to have a Kwame Brown bus or like a Anthony Bennett bus than like like you have a greater chance to find a good draft pick.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Like
Um, I
like
agree with that.
like you still even I mean even like you're a Sixers fan, so you have like players like the Nerlens Noels and the Jaleel Okafor, but like honestly they're still in the league. Like they're Nerlens Noel is still gonna get like a good 10-year run.
Mm, Well, I'll say this about Nerlens. Nerlens Nerlens I have the job off the strength that he's a rim protector.
Yeah.
He's a rim protector, kind of small, kind of he's pretty slim, but he is a rim protector. He hasn't developed the outside game, and that's what's gonna hurt him. That's I don't believe he'll have a 10-year career. Now let me take that back. I can see him being on a roster. Will he be like a Jared Dudley type guy who's getting minutes? Probably not. I can see him being on a roster just in case.
I, you know what? I think if Nerlens Noel, and I think it's all mental though, but like if he can become like a true professional, like a lot, like if he can become like a player that's like okay, you know what? I know what I bring to this team. Kind of like a DeAndre Jordan, like where it's like okay, I'm not, I know I'm not gonna get 20 like all like 10, 20 post touches. I just come here to set hard screens, run, play defense, and be a professional in the locker room. I feel like a lot of teams would take a chance on like a lot of teams. I'm not sure if OKC is gonna bring him back, but like he's a good plus to any team.
Yeah, I think so.
Um,
I think
now,
he is a good.
now I do. By any chance, have you with the deadline of the All Stars coming up? You already got your ballots together.
All Star, I have not, but I will be more excited to talk about the reserves than the starters.
The reserve. All right,
Yeah.
so I still got the list. So we already, we can kind of go through them. You want to do the East or the West first?
Let's do the West first.
The West. So we already we already know Luca, AD, Kawhi, and Harden. They're locked.
Okay.
Now, so they're doing 12 spot. I believe they're doing 12 spots. So we need seven more. So what is it? What's that? Four? No, that's actually three. Oh, hell, that's actually the same lineup. Two front. Um, what is it? I believe it's four front court and two back court, and the other reserves are just you know free game.
Yeah.
Um, Me so far, I got Lillard as um Donovan Mitchell.
Not mad at that. He deserves that nod.
Uh,
Not mad at that.
let me, God, let me look. Let me pull up the list because I don't want to put I don't want to put Russell if unless I have to.
I don't think he's an All Star this year.
Oh, Chris Paul.
Hmm.
Yeah, I got to put Chris Paul. Like you.
It's debatable. It's debatable.
All right, so
Debatable.
so I'm putting Chris Paul. So that's my actually that's my three guards. Um, who else? I'm not putting Taco Fall. Jokic.
Yeah, definitely.
Damn. Do I put John Morant? Do I
Where
want?
they are they still the AC?
I think they yes, I believe they're still in the
You know
AC.
what, man? Even though I don't think he's an All Star this year, and it's not knocking him. I will not be surprised if he gets the nod. I won't be surprised if he gets the nod, man.
All right, let me,
I just don't think he's an All Star this year. Not yet.
I mean, they're in the AC. The AC, like I can't. You know what it is? I can't justify putting. It's like you can't make the argument. To me, how I look at it is like Memphis, San Antonio, Portland are in that same spot. So we can't really say, okay, Lillard is the all star, but Jai isn't an all star.
Yeah.
Um, Brandon Ingram. All right, so we got
Hmm.
you want
Another debatable one. Another debatable one. It's
and
debatable.
then I got let me get I need Gobert. Can I put Carl Anthony Towns or not? Nah?
Nah, bro.
Paul George? He missed like
Paul George will get a nod. He'll get a nod for off of namesake. Even though it doesn't seem like he's gotten into the rhythm he's wanting to get into, but off namesake, he'll definitely get a nod.
uh,
It's Paul George. He'll get in there.
Draymond.
No, sir.
uh, yeah, I feel like Utah might. I mean, I put Gobert. So I put go. So right now I got Lillard, Mitchell, CP3, John Morant, Jokic,
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Ingram, and Gobert. I don't really, you know what? I don't really see that not that much because you can make the argument for Russ, but I really don't want to see Russ again in the goddamn. Uh, I think the only one that's a toss up is should we give Houston two All Stars?
Russ will probably get it off namesake, I think. But is he deserving? That's the big question. A lot of these guys get it off namesake, man. I wouldn't be
So
mad if that's not.
bench. I mean, we kind of skipping ahead, but bench start cut for your All Star. Well, I guess bench cut. CP3, John Morant, or Russell Westbrook.
CP3, John Morant, or Russell Westbrook. Whew. This is a tough one. Um, Art bench cut.
Well, bench cut because they all gonna be on
With
the bench.
bench cut, I would say. Hmm. I mean, well, I would have to say Ja gonna he get a bench. I would say Ja and CP3 on the bench and Russell get cut.
Russell get cut.
Yeah,
I can agree with that. I can agree. That's pretty much what I had. So I think that's the lock for the West. I don't think it's gonna go down as planned, but who knows? I'm not sure if I I hope Brandon Ingram makes it. Um, he it's well deserved. I think the Pelicans should trade him so they can get as much back for him. And I want. Oh yeah, and I still need to check the ticker on Zion because I know this is his first game back.
yeah.
Now moving to the East, did you make a decision with well the East the main lock Giannis. I think that's it. Giannis and Kemba.
Yeah, I think Embiid to get it off namesake. I don't think he's playing All Star.
You
Well, let me not say that. Let me not say he's not playing All Star caliber ball. He's missed a lot of games so far.
you want
He hasn't
Embiid
got a rhythm. Huh?
you want Embiid, Pascal, or Jimmy?
If I had to choose, I'm going Jimmy. If I had to choose, but I think Embiid to get through for the big.
So you got Jimmy because they putting Jimmy in the front court
So my front court in the East, I would have Embiid, I'd have Jimmy,
and
and I would have
Giannis. Well,
yeah,
now for your guards, we're gonna lock in Kimba.
Kemba's a
Um,
lot.
you want Trey, Kyrie, or Ben?
You already know how I feel about Kyrie. I mean Trey. Hey, you know what? I think he's gonna get a. I think he's gonna get an All Star nod this year. It's like we gotta have rules to this, though, man. We gotta have rules to it.
well,
Um,
so
I
so
don't think Trey's gonna. He I think Trey's gonna be an All Star this year. I just don't think he does. Like I said, man, All Star caliber players they win basketball games. Trey's on the worst team in the Eastern Conference.
so here's the thing. Here's the thing, and this is the Trey falls into the Yao category where like he's the thing is you can't have not have Trey because he is productive in terms of stat wise, and he's leading them in votes. So like we can't have, but it's not like a foreign player where it's not like when Zaza. It's not like Taco Falls with Trey where we're like, all right, we can't put Taco Falls in there.
Yeah,
But so so you going with Ben for the next guard spot?
I can't say he's gonna start. I think Bennett probably he's been picking up his game. He just was announced Eastern Conference Player of the Week not too long, a few days ago, I think, or yesterday. I
I mean,
can't put him in the starting spot though.
to me, Ben Simmons is the most underrated player in the NBA.
That is not a stretch.
The,
He's very underrated.
I I think people get so wrapped up in this whole jump shot. His like, oh yeah, he not shooting jump shots, but I'm like you don't like. Sorry, like it because people, a lot of people call. I'm not sure if you heard if a lot of people call him like a bust or he need to get a jump shot, but I'm like, I just feel like you don't like not average a triple double, but you don't average Ben Simmons number if you're some shit.
Facts, you know.
Um, so I guess moving on to the reserve, and this is kind of all over the place. We gonna make a spot for Trey? let,
I just have a problem. You know what? As a guard,
yeah, it's
I'm
easy.
making a stop at Bradley Bill.
So you want Bradley Bill? I can't argue that. You
I'm
want
making a stop at Bradley Bill.
You want Kyrie?
I don't think he's a all star. He's missed a lot of games too. I don't know. Not Kyrie this year. Not this year.
Not Kyrie.
Mm-mm. He's and you know what? The thing about Kyrie is it's only off the fact he's missed a lot of games.
All right,
He would get it off namesake. He's missed a lot of games though.
Sabonis from the Pacers.
Nah,
That
no Sabonis.
no Sabonis. I'm gonna put Sabonis.
Now look, I wouldn't be mad if he got it. He's definitely balling out.
You rather
He's
Sabonis
doing
or I take Sabonis over Malcolm Brogdon though. I think
definitely.
I think he's the best player on the Pacers, and yeah, like
I definitely think Sabonis over Malcolm Brogdon.
all right. So we're gonna put Sabonis. Um, Derek Rose. Oh no, no. All right, let's just go down. I'll put Bam in there. So that's my two forwards. So I need one more forward. You want Tatum or let's table that. You want Tatum or Brown? You can't have both.
I'm going Jalen Brown if that's
Jay,
the case.
really? So I'll put this in asterisks. I'll put Brown or Tatum. One of the Celtics wing. I like Tatum. I like Brown better, but sometimes honestly, it's hot or cold. Like depends on which days of the week.
Yeah.
Right. So we already have four. So we got Bradley, Sabonis. I put Bam on Adebayo. Did we put?
Adebayo, Adebayo, I'm not mad at Adebayo's an all star this year, I
Oh
think.
shoot!
Yeah, I
I
think
forgot. We ain't put Siakam. We gotta put Siakam in there.
yeah, he's there too.
So we already got the. Now comes down to it. Kyrie or Trey.
As a reserve guard,
Kyrie, Trey, or Zach Levine.
neither.
So what you just
If those are my options, Ben Simmons is getting a reserve.
no
I
no no.
wouldn't
I
start
already
Ben. I wouldn't start Ben.
you.
I'd have him as a reserve. If those are the options, I got Ben. But
I mean,
I think Trey Young is gonna get a spot. I don't agree with it, but I
uh,
think he's gonna get a spot. He just got too many votes to ignore it.
yeah. I put Ben in my starting lineup. I think he's I I put Ben in my starting lineup. Um. So I guess the question is if you put Trey. So either way, so we'll put Trey. So we got one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. So I guess the seventh spot, Tatum or Kyrie,
Jason,
because you know Kyrie gonna get the votes.
he's gonna get the votes.
It,
Kyrie will get it.
so we already got the All Star. We already got so now we got the roster. It, yeah. I mean, granted, I don't even think it matters. I don't even really think it matters. I think a lot of I literally think it's a hot take, but I literally think a lot of the NBA players they secretly hope they don't get the All Star so they can go on vacation, bruh. Like when I found like they
like
get
Jimmy Butler.
huh,
Like Jimmy Butler.
yo, you get a week off from work. Like the difference is a week off versus uh Nah, because I guess if they time it right, I think their last game is probably, I think it's from Thursday to Thursday. So instead of Thursday to Thursday, you get a Monday to Thursday if you make the All Star team.
Yep.
Yeah. But you want to do oh shoot, start and moving on to the next topic. Start, bench, and cut. You already know the returning champ. You always got to put Markel Fultz. Now, there's a lot of players that have been bubbling.
hmm
Now, I'm not going to limit it to point guards or combo guards ish, but mainly this episode I want to feature the young dudes.
Got you. I
Maybe
understand it.
that the underrated dudes that a lot of people overlook. So we got Markel Fultz, Michael Porter Jr., and
Hmm.
or Zion. Start, bench, cut. Not that they haven't lived up to expectation, but they're really young to make a decision.
Overtime. I'm gonna base this strictly off overtime.
Well, instead of overtime, let's say the next 5 years. Like, well, not 5 years, but like you get like a 4 year contract.
I'm gonna say uh I know who I'm cutting off that.
Who you cutting off?
That's Michael Porter Jr.
Wow, that was my
Yeah.
start. That was my start.
Michael Porter Jr. is getting cut.
That that's my.
Um and and it's not that I don't think he has the ability. It's mainly I don't think Denver is that good of a fit for him. And if that's where he's gonna spend his next 5 years, I don't think it's the best fit.
I think them.
I do
I think Denver is waiting on a trade though,
I do too. I do too.
because the
They need a piece. They need a piece.
because the thing with Denver is um they don't trade. So my problem with Denver is they they don't trade and they wait until the last minute, or if not, they'll just never trade. But they have a lot of players. They have a lot of fringe players that if they played on another team, they would be really good. Like Gary Harris and Malik Beasley. So it's like a big log jam in Denver.
Yeah.
So we cut. So who you starting? Zion or
That's the
Mark?
that's the question. Where do I see Zion in 5 years? Do I see him? Where do I see him in 5 years? This is tough. This is pretty tough for me. Where do I see Zion in 5 years?
I mean, I still think he'll figure it out though. I just feel like
I do. I think he'll figure it out, but what's his ceiling?
um
Question. What's his ceiling? What do you think his ceiling is?
Blake Griffin in the 03 in 2013.
Say that again.
Blake, I think his ceiling is Blake Griffin in 2013.
In 2013.
Like like when Blake came, I want to say maybe Chris Paul's second, or it was that year that Blake went to the playoffs and they got bounced. I forgot who they got bounced by. I think it was Houston, but they got bounced by Houston. But Blake pretty much carried the whole Clippers. I think Chris Paul was down. But I see a situation like that where you got uh like you have like this athletic forward. I don't think he's gonna be LeBron just because of the. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but I think not to like do cross comparison, but I think a lot of people should take like the Lamar Jackson. model of how to build a team. Like like kind of like how like Ben Simmons, you want to surround them with shooters. I would like if I was the Pelicans, I would just stockpile a bunch of players that suit um I- like a lot of players that suit Zion's play style. I would trade Ingram in a heartbeat, and yeah, that's so you know get as much touches for Zion as possible. But I think best case scenario, he could be like a Blake Griffin type.
Hmm. I'll
Because I think he's
I'll start Zion. I'll start Zion. I'll bench folks strictly because I don't know if folks could get back to that Washington form. I know Zion is going to be explosive. I know he's going to be a walking highlight reel. And if he can get in shape, he can probably do more.
you
I
know
just don't know if folks can get close to that where he was offensively at Washington.
the
So
thing.
I'll bench folks and I'll start Zion.
You know what's the crazy part? And this, I'm not a doctor. I've never played in the NBA, but Zion's not being in shape, it to me is still in better. Like he's still more athletic than 95% of the league.
Yeah, that's just God given ability.
Yeah, so like
But as he gets older, that that ability is just you don't want to have him just relying on his rookie year athleticism in year 8.
oh nah, he'll be fine.
It's not gonna. He's gotta learn to be a pro
Yeah,
and come into the season in shape.
you know what it is. I don't even think he's out. I don't think he's out of shape. I just, I literally think
Me
like,
neither. I don't think he's out of shape either. I don't think he's out of shape either. I just feel like over time, and he'll learn this. Carrying that extra weight on him, doing what he does for 82 games, he's gonna miss a lot of games. He's gonna miss a lot of games.
yeah,
So it's gonna come down to him just, hey, um, take some of that weight off your joints because you're gonna be flying, you're gonna be landing hard.
I,
So
I,
take some of that weight off your joints.
I just think like the one thing I just think I'm not sure. I'm not sure because now I literally think Brandon Ingram's gonna be a problem. I I feel like David Griffin should trade Brandon Ingram, and not that I don't think Brandon Ingram is a great player. I just think it's gonna be a log jam, and then on top of that, I don't think he's coming back anyway.
Yeah.
But but yo, like we hitting the hour mark. Anything else that you wanted to add? We kind of ran through all the main topics.
Um, wanna add?
You kept up with Power.
Probably. Say that again.
You started watching Power yet?
I'm gonna try to get into it, man. I've
Gotta
never
get.
watched the episode of it. I'm gonna try to get into it.
Oh,
I think next episode will have a lot more content as far as shows we both would have watched. Um, the Aaron Hernandez saga. I think we're gonna have a
no, I
pretty
can.
in depth conversation on that once
I,
you see it, bro.
I feel you. But make sure you watch. Make sure you watch Power also, because I want to
Will
see
do,
your.
will do.
I want to see your first reaction to Power. Eh, But yeah, this but yeah, we approaching the end. Yeah, this is another like for for everyone that's out there listening, we just want to thank you for taking the time out to listen to us. We definitely gonna bring you
Sure, for
more.
sure.
We definitely gonna bring you more content. Um, we're right now we're kind of just seeing how it goes in terms of like in terms of like a schedule, like a scheduled date of like when we actually like drop a pod. But what we will assure you is that you'll get your weekly pod, and also and for like background, if y'all want any like game requests, I do play a couple other games. We got Call of Duty, we got 2K, we got some Pokemon, we got the Smash Brothers, we got Mario Kart. So sometimes from time to time I just throw gameplay in the background instead of just the black screen. Oh, how did we forget music? Got any music you listening to right now?
Hmm. At the moment, I'm listening to quite a few artists. Let me actually just go into a playlist I've been listening to. I've been listening to some a little Earl Sweatshirt.
Um, I don't know. I'm kind of what it is. I'm kind of late to all the music parties right now.
Yeah, yeah. It's been very sporadic for me. I haven't been really listening to a lot of new stuff. I've been listening to a lot of my go-tos, the Kendricks, the Earls. I'll listen to some Frank Ocean here and there. As far as local artists from Maryland, I'm listening to IDK.
Yeah.
Um, I like IDK. But it's been real sporadic, honestly. Just it's all over the place at the moment.
Don't judge me. I just started listening to the Lil Uzi Vert.
I'm not judging
I
you.
just started listening to. I was like, you know what it is? It's like you hear like just the one songs and you're like, oh, okay, let me actually go download it. It's not bad. I just started listening to look because they'll come up on the shuffle, but it's like you don't really pay no attention. You just like it just here you go through one ear out the other. I've been listening to a lot of Roddy Rich. I really like his album. I can't stop listening
Yeah,
to it. But
yeah.
anything else you want to promote?
Um, just be looking out for more episodes of the podcast. We're like Fa said, we're gonna expand more as far as content we're putting out. As far as meeting up more, you're gonna definitely see us leveling up as we go into the podcast journey. Just stay rocking with us, pay attention. Hopefully, you guys
Facts.
can subscribe to what we're doing and keep listening.
All right, we'll see y'all next week. We're gonna bring out more content. We're gonna try to bring out some more content, right? Um, you want to you think we should do it before or after the Super Bowl?
I think we can get another pod in before the Super
All
Bowl.
right, we gotta
Super
do it.
Bowl, yeah, about 2 weeks. Super Bowl's in 2 weeks.
Yeah. All right, we'll get one. We'll get y'all one right before the Super Bowl. But it's Jefe and Jenks. We signing out.
I don't know.